Hey, everybody. Woo! Another episode from the Becky Files. Sad, but an educated Dusty died, and nobody cried. Nobody cried when the Dusty died. Let's discuss why. Let me go ahead and give you a little background information. Becky married him. This was his second marriage, her third. Okay. Prior to this, she was married to two Caucasian men. One was a stockbroker, and the other was a professor, husband number two. So this time, husband number three was an educated lame. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I'm just going to be honest with you. I never liked the guy from the jump, because what I heard about him, and I just kind of saw him as a selfish leech. Now, here's the deal. This is old school. I remember my mother saying this to someone who was marrying a guy, and she was like, well, just sit down and have a conversation and just talk with the first wife, and just kind of see what, get information for yourself. That way, it's a one-on-one. And, women, they'll sit down and have a talk, and, you can take from that whatever you want. This day and age, you can't always do that because, if you're dealing with a drama queen, and especially if you're dealing with one of these street chicks, if somebody might knuckle up, it might be a fight. But I think that women of a certain caliber, they're able to do that, okay? And a certain background, they're able to do that. But I wouldn't recommend that to all because you just know, you never know. You really have to assess the situation. So that's what Becky did. She did meet with his first wife, who was African American. They had one daughter together. Just go ahead and get into it. The first wife basically described him as a serial cheater, serial liar, narcissistic. He is very selfish. He only cares about someone else. He takes, gives nothing. And it was said that he never spent a dime on his daughter. So, and you're like, oh, she's exaggerating. He never spent a dime on his daughter. So, that was a take. And I know women think, well, that was him. Maybe that was a bad marriage. I'm a totally different person. I totally get it. That happened to her. It's not going to happen to me. One thing Maya Angelou said, I believe it was her that said, when people show you who they are, maybe it was Oprah. When people show you who they are, believe them. Yeah. And sometimes when people tell you who certain people are, you might want to kind of stand back and observe. So that was the first wife's take on it. Being that she was supposedly, in love, she decided to go ahead and marry him, and they got married. The first house they lived in, it was a $7 million house. She paid for it. She did the financing, paid for everything. Now, he was educated. He was an engineer. And he also had some investments that she didn't quite know about. So her financial book is totally open, and he's in. They're married, $7 million house, he's staying there. And I remember when things kind of went bad in real estate, in business, and then they're selling a house. She then moved to a $5 million house, and then they moved to a whole nother house, all right? My issue was I wasn't understanding. He was working, so I wasn't understanding. Yeah, you're buying, and he's just packing up like he's a teenage kid, and he's a few years older. I wasn't understanding, which is why I had a problem with him, why his pocketbook is not coming out. Why can't there be two checks? You write part of the down payment, then he write part of the down payment. I'm not understanding. Utilities, everything is in her name. So I just took an issue with that from a man's standpoint of view because I'm just not used to being with the man, and it's all on me. Oh, I don't know. No. Most men take the lead in things like that But, if you want to do half and half, that's fine. But I'm not understanding why his pocketbook is never coming out. It's always her. So, fast forward, all marriages have their problems. She's always working. He retired. Woo, let's get to the retirement. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. You're probably not. So, he retired. And when he retired, he had like a pension plan. On the pension plan, when it was time for him, when he retired, I think the amount was between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. So just for illustrative purposes, let's go ahead and stick with $3,000 a month. Now, which I know was just like close to $4,000. So let's say $3,000 a month. On the paperwork for the pension, there were two options where he would either A, when he retired, collect $3,000 a month, okay, and then having a spouse when he passes on, if he goes first, she would get nothing. The other option was for them to only pay him, let's say, $2,700 a month. Okay? Then, when, let's say, if he expired first, then she would get a percentage or get she would get $2,700 a month too. So basically, we're looking at them withholding $300 a month. Okay? So if they withhold $300 a month, then if he expires first, then she would get, like $2,700 a month or whatever the percentage was of that. But she would get some money from the pension as a spouse. By this time, they're married like 10 years. Okay? I don't know if it was 15, 17 years, whatever. Yeah, it was like, I think she said they almost made it to 20 years. I think it was, it was up there. 10 years. He chose the first option. For him to get the full woman married to you all this time, for him to get the full $3,000 a month, and when he expires, for her to get $0. That's what he chose. Never mind the houses she has paid. Do you understand? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, some paperwork came to the house to confirm it. And she had asked about it, and he was like, oh, yeah, I did the paperwork, and don't worry, I took care of it. I'm going to get this amount of money, and then if I pass on, then, you will get the pension. Okay, great. So I guess, as a person, if you feel something isn't right, you may kind of go back and retract and like, I want to kind of make sure. And it's like, are you sure about that? So they have those ongoing conversations to see if it was really, I guess she felt some kind of way. And he lied each time and said, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I took care of it. I signed the paperwork, and they have separate accounts, by the way. I'm getting X amount of dollars. So if I pass on, you will have a pension. Don't worry. And it's not about so much for needing the money. It's just the right thing. I mean, come on. She has paid for the houses that they live in. So she's always gone, working. The mail, a letter came in the mail. A letter came in the mail, and it was about the amount that he was getting, which showed that he was going to get the full $3,000, and she was going to get a big fat $0. At that point, she's already called old boy. He was out and about, so she's at the house, and she's like, no, you say this here. This letter came in the mail. Okay? This letter came in the mail. You've been lying. Let's get him on the phone right now and get this straightened out. Right now. They go into the office of the home. And they're on speakerphone because she doesn't trust him. Got those folk on speakerphone, and they said, listen, we've confirmed this was the option twice. Given the time has passed, it's too late. It's too late. There cannot be any changes. So now you want to add your wife on? You've had plenty of time. You chose the other option to leave her with $0. It's too late. Wow. Okay. So she's upset, of course, speaks volumes. And I remember, never forget, I was in West Palm Beach and sitting on Clematis Street, sitting outside eating. And it's like, what would you do? I said, given what's all that's happened, I said, I'm not going to lie. I would just divorce him. Yeah, I said I would divorce him. Because I said, I think what he did, my opinion, what I know about him, what he's done, I said, this right here is a final blow. I said, I think what he was trying to do, I think he planned on you never finding out. And then, let's say if he died first, you would go to call them and find out about the money. And then he would have the last laugh. From the grave, he would have the last laugh to say, ha ha ha, I got over on you. I said, I really think that was his plan. I said, but that letter came, so now you know. I said, the fact, 300, look where you live. I said, the fact that he wanted to withhold a lousy $300 from the house that's $7 million to $5 million, and then the third house. I said, the fact that he didn't think that much of you. You put umpteen years into a marriage, and he wanted to keep it all to himself. Hello, what did the first wife tell you? I said, at this point, what would I do? She said, what would you do? I said, I would file for divorce. What's in it for you? You, even though you're making a lot more money, what's in it for you? You're taking care of yourself as a single woman, and you're taking care of him like he's a freaking child. I would file for divorce. And she did. Now, let's talk about some of the other things that went on. So he's retired now, and she was trying to call him for something. And at this point, they got some bad news. He also had Parkinson's. And I knew what was going on, heard about it. He had diagnosed with Parkinson's. And it was like, wow, it had been coming. But at this point, it kind of got bad. He had a hard time putting his pants on. It's like to go to the grocery store. Just to get from the front door, the back door to the car, it might take 10 minutes. Okay? So this is really interesting. At this point, it's gotten very difficult. So you're thinking pretty much like, it's like I said, he can hardly put his own pants on without needing help. You gotta be freaking kidding me. It was really bad. So now she's calling him at home. She's in the office and she's calling him at home about something. No answer. Can't get a hold of him. Haven't been able to get a hold of him all afternoon. Well, he's got Parkinson's and now it's progressing. So she's like worried, oh my gosh, maybe something has happened. Can't find him, can't get a hold of him. Look up. They have his phone. She has the locator on his phone. So the assistant is like, yeah, you got to try to find him. The assistant, oh, and by the way, so she looks on the camera. So I'm sorry, she's got cameras inside the house and outside. So his car is gone. Okay? Car is gone. So now she gets the assistant, want to find out where he is. Use the locator on the phone. Yeah, he's at the strip club. Boop, boop, at the strip club. And she's like, no, he is not there. He does not go to strip clubs. No, he does not do that. It's like, well, the locators, that's where his phone is. So the car's not in the driveway. You can see through the camera. The locator says that phone is picking up at the strip club. I'm just saying. That's where it's picking up. He does not go to strip club. That's where the phone is picking up at the strip club. So now everything comes to a halt. Leaves the office. We're finna go to that strip club and boop. There his vehicle is, y'all, in the parking lot of the strip club. He's inside, and then she checks him out. It's like, what's going on? Oh, I come here because I like to have good lunch specials. So when I heard about this here, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm going to tell you right now. I said, the strip club is the wrong place for him to be. I said, because this is what's going to happen. I said, he's got Parkinson's, so he can't have relations. It'll take a medication. It's just not recommended. From what I'm being told, he cannot have, intimate relations. So he's an easy mark. I said, second of all, he may start talking, and when they find out where he lives, boom, laser, easy mark. I said, those women down at Poe, honey, they're hustlers. Okay. These chicks are hustling. They will hustle you. I said, he's going to be an easy mark. I said, at this point, he's got Parkinson's, and I guess they're going through the divorce thing, blah, 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 blah. I said, he might need to go move someplace else. So they got divorced, and she got him all set up. Now, before they got, because at this point, they were still in the process, it wasn't final. But before the divorce was filed, he had been kind of going to the strip club, and then she started checking his finances. Man, let me tell you, keep in mind, the first wife had to do everything herself, said he hadn't spent a dime on his daughter. And I was like, well, given his age, now I'm like, well, the girl's she's grown. So maybe he can help her. She incurs student loans or whatever. I said, maybe he could help her now. I'm like, because, hey, he's retired. I mean, come on. You have money. Ladies, keep making excuses if you want to for why these men won't do anything. But guess what he did, boo-boo? Before the divorce was final, while they were still legally married and he was doing a strip club thing, he was spending so much money on strippers to try to save things before she filed, because she filed. She even put him on a budget. After she learned this right here, okay, you got to have a budget. You can only spend so many dollars a week going to the strip club, and she put him on a budget of $400 a week on to go to the strip club. I was like, man, I can imagine being married to somebody and he's on a stripper budget. Well, you know how that happened. He exceeded the strip club budget. 1 week, it was over $1,100. Yeah, over $1,100. The drama starts to unfold. They divorce. She's still in the house that she paid for. She got him set up in another place. So he's now moved to a place in PGA. PGA is Palm Beach Gardens. Palm Beach Gardens. Okay? He's there now. Child, he has hooked up with 2 strippers, aka prostitutes. How do I know? Because they had a pimp. Yes, 2 white girls, and one. I said, one was an old stripper. I said, wait a minute, how's she coming down the pole? I'm just saying, I thought most of those girls are young. You coming down the pole at what age? I think this chick about 35, 36. I said, wait a second, that's kind of old for stripping, honey. I said before, it's going to be an easy mark. At this point, with the Parkinson's now, he can hardly put his pants on, but he done found some new friends. Yes, some strippers. So she's handling his finances. Things kind of got out of hand. What the hell is this? So now they're trying to budget. She's trying to budget. Okay, you've got Parkinson's. You have X amount of dollars. So we need to make sure that you don't outlive your money. Okay? Want to make sure you don't outlive the money, because that can happen. Child, where do I begin? She starts going over his money, and guess what she finds out? Keep in mind what the first wife said, and he hasn't paid a dime on his own daughter. She called, and what's all this money going out? He got some regular payments coming out. What's this? So now she starts to check his phone. And at this point, I told her, I said, listen, you have a business to run. You really have 3. You have 3 businesses to run. You're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You have businesses to run. Businesses. I said, this guy's taking too much of your time. I said, what you need to start doing is start charging him. You're going to handle this. I said, you're handling his affairs, his finances. You're taking him once a week. Or twice a week. You're taking him to go grocery shopping. I said, this is taking up time out of your busy schedule. You're going over his money because he can't handle it. I said, so you need to start paying yourself. I said, if I were you, I would pay myself about $1,100, $1,200 a month to handle his affairs. And if he doesn't like it, guess what? Go and let the strippers do it. You're going to see what's going to happen to you. I said, so right now, start paying yourself. She was like, well, start paying yourself $1,100 a month. That's what I would start doing. He didn't have any problems paying them that. I said, because this is work. It's taking time going over his books and the taxes. I said, you're paying his bills. You are paying his bills and grocery shopping. And then you may take him once every other Sunday, go out to dinner. Okay? You're having to see about him, coordinate doctor's appointments. I said, hell, they're not doing it. I said, so time is money. I said, this is turned into like a project. You need to compensate yourself, pay yourself. And she did. So as she starts going over his information, guess what she finds out? Keep in mind, she's been paying for the houses. She's paid for everything. He has sat up here and bought the older stripper, the one that's about what, 35, 36. He bought her a Land Rover. Yeah, bought her a Land Rover. The same chick, she said she was checking his finances. What's this money going out? She checks his phone, calls a woman, and the woman goes, "Oh yeah, he's also helping me. The older stripper, he's also helping me put my daughter through college. This fool didn't put his own black daughter through college, but here's a stripper and put her daughter through college because the stripper, this Becky, is a baby mama." You got to be kidding me. Didn't put his own daughter through college, but putting the stripper's daughter through college. Plus got her the Land Rover. Weekend, I'll never forget. It's a Saturday. What's going on now? He's in a hospital. Okay, why is he in the hospital? I just told you, the two strippers / prostitutes, they got a pimp. Yeah, they're just a black man, that's the pimp. And what happened was he had bought the other Becky a car. Oh, let me rewind. He has a BMW. One of the strippers has a suspended license, warrants out for her arrest, drinking and do whatever else, and crashed the car. Didn't call the police. Of course, I understand that. Didn't even call the insurance company. This fool spent $20,000 cash to get the BMW fixed. Are you crazy? It's like, call the insurance company. File a claim. I don't want to get her in trouble. She has a suspended license. And I was like, I never liked the guy to begin with, but he's like so super dumb. Your deductible is $500, but you pay $20,000. Paid $20,000 to get the BMW fixed. And she did something and went airborne. I'm like, the car is pretty much probably going to be totaled out. Look up, get it fixed. Boom. Same stripper. She done got into another accident. You gotta be kidding me. So guess what he does? Keep in mind. And this is a good lesson for the mammies. You don't think that is dangerous. Oh yeah. Guess what happened? He then goes to the dealership and he spent $14,000 cash and bought her a pre-owned medium-sized vehicle. Okay. It was used, but it's a fine vehicle. $14,000 cash for it. Fast forward. And she's like, where's the card? So she's finding this out as she's keeping up with his finances, paying his bills because he can't handle it. So he knows how to chase women, but he can't handle his finances. So this is how she's finding out about. I'm like, oh my gosh, 14 G's. Let's get to why he's in the hospital. She's like, no, we need to go ahead and get the car back. So they contact the dealership. He bought the car and he wrote the check for it, but he put in the girl's name. Guess what happened? The vehicle, once they got the title, the vehicle then goes from the girl's name to the black guy's name, who's the pimp, Mr. Pimpology. It's now in his name. The girl done signed a call to him, to the pimp. And they couldn't get it back. He paid cash. He wrote that check. We got to get the car back. It's not stolen. He came in dealership. He wrote that check. I said, well, hell, try elderly abuse. It didn't matter. So when that started happening, it's time to kind of get the laws involved. Look up. The girls, I guess the little pole slingers come over again. They're making, the neighbors can see them on the camera. They're like, yeah, they're a lot. All of a sudden, things end up missing. Things coming up stolen. You think, no, you thought they were your friends. Don't want to give the first wife didn't get nothing. The second wife, Becky, the one I know, she didn't get nothing. Not even his daughter. But look what happened. Some strippers, y'all. They stripping his pockets. They're running those pockets quick. So he's in the hospital on a Saturday. And I'll never forget. So I'm like, what? What happened to him? I guess they started checking him out. And that's how we found out about the background, because the detective got involved. The police got involved. And they said, yeah, it's one detective has a place like that's near. And he's like, yeah, I've been seeing this here. And they got the license plates. And so they were able to find out who's who, on background checks. And that's how they found out about the girls. Besides stripping, they've been arrested for prostitution. And the guy for drugs, what was it? Drugs and also pimp and gun possession. So that's how we know what kind of people that we're dealing with, okay? Because yeah, the camera, so we're able to get some information and get names, and so that's the investigation began. What happened? He was sent up in a hospital with a black eye, bloody nose, and had soiled his pants. I guess they wanted some more money from him. At this time, she's already called the bank and put a limit on withdrawal that he can get. So they had been running his pockets, but with her now with the finances and speaking with the bank, they know, okay, he's only going to get a certain amount of money, and she's pretty much explained what happened. She has a power of attorney. So they can't get the money they've been getting out of Big Spender. Whoa, what's going on? The pimp put those hands on him. Put those hands on him, undotted that eye, blooded his nose, and hit him someplace else, bruises, and then they dropped him off at the hospital, and there he was sitting in soiled pants. Guess what? Who's he calling? Ring, 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 ring. Call on wifey. And I was like, well, no. I said, I thought those were his friends. He doesn't mind taking care of them. That's who he's dishing his money out to. Do you see how they operate? You see how they operate. Users. So now you look up, he's just kind of all messed up. So then his health is getting a lot worse. And it was like, wow, this is going kind of fast. He fell down. Child was down for a couple of days. They said if he left, if she didn't, and she was calling and checking on him, they said if she had waited one more day, he would have died. So this guy is a liability, and he can't live on his own. So now they put him into a house to go live with some people. And keep in mind, I'm telling you, that's why I said so. And by now, of course, the divorce is final. Keep in mind, I'm telling you, I said I will divorce him. Keep in mind, I said how she's paid for both the houses. That's why I didn't like him, because I was like, man, as a man, I just don't respect any man like that. I'm like, I don't understand what's he doing with his money. Oh, and oh my gosh, it gets worse. So they've found a place for him to live, and it's a private residence where I believe one man is a nurse and he has a family member that's a CNA. And it's like he's renting a room out in their house. Guess how much a month, y'all? Over $5,000 a month. And I was like, wow, but he couldn't pay you that. And I said, pretty soon, I said, okay, given what you're saying, he's down to just a little over $200,000. I said, he's going to run out of money. He's going to run out of money. So paying this $5,000 a month doesn't make any sense. He's like, well, that's what he wants, to go stay with him. And this is not family. So it gets more interesting. So now he's sitting up in this house with his family, and they take care of him. Like I said, there's a nurse and there's a family member that's a CNA. So he's paying. They're getting paid $5 a month to keep him there, and he has his own room. Okay, fine. They take him to the doctor, so they pretty much take care of him. Ding dong, ding dong. So who is this? Oh yeah, somebody comes to the house where she is, ringing the doorbell. Honey, hope you got your tea ready for this one right here. Keep in mind, for all the ones making excuses for these men that can't do anything but leech off of you, keep it up, mammies. Ding dong. You got to be kidding me. Oh, what they say? This is when you say, oh, hell no. I just would have been too through. This what did it for me. And all this happened. This really did it. I would have rolled up on him. Yeah, we're going to, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So somebody's at the door. Who the hell is this? It's an older man, but hold on. It's a dude in his 90s, boo-boo. Why is he at the door? I call him members only because he wore a members only jacket. Hi. He asked for Patrick. That's his name. He asked, oh yeah, hey. Is Patrick here? I came to drop this off. Oh no, come on in. No, he's not here. He goes, yeah, I've been calling him, and I can't get a hold to him. Well, by this time, because they moved him to the house and they want to kind of keep those strippers away from keep those girls away from him from getting his money. So by this time, they've pretty much turned his phone off. Okay, turn the phone off because they tried before changing the number. Guess what? Somehow this fool got a hold to him again. I don't know how, but at this point, he's not driving, so the car's already gone. He's staying with a family. They're taking the cell phone. Okay, because I said, well, I said he might try to slip and call. You never know. He might call the club. You just get a message to him where he is. I said, so they were like, she's like, yeah. I said, I'm just letting you know because how they get the number, you changed it. So I said, it's him reaching out. If you change the number and you took the phone, I said there's he must be calling a club looking for those girls, and that's how I got the new number. So at this point, she's taking the phone. Why is great grandfather at the door? Woo! He goes, yeah. I want to get this to Patrick. Here he is. Great granddaddy has handed her an envelope. I kid you not, TikTok. $10,000 cash in it. $10,000 cash in it. What? And she's like, what is this for? And he said, well, he said, I bring it every month from that property he sold. This fool has sold a property, had some real estate that she didn't even know about. He did some owner financing, and I heard it was a commercial property, and he'd been getting $10,000 a month cash. And so what he's doing, he's got his friend who's in his 90s, a go-between, I couldn't believe it, coming from Miami, you guys, riding the train up to West Palm Beach and been bringing him the cash from we don't know how long. $10,000 a month. You got to be kidding me. She didn't even know he had commercial property. When I heard that, I'm like, I can't. Because, yeah. Hands her an envelope. And he's like, yeah, I bring it every month. He said, I've been calling him, couldn't get a hold to him, so I decided to go ahead and come to the house. And I was like, I see, you mean to tell me? He says he comes every month and brings Patrick that money. I said, you mean to tell me this little old man been riding the train from Miami to West Palm Beach and sitting up here in that members only jacket that's like, I think they had that when I was in junior high school, members only jacket. I said, I was like, wow, that's what kind of stuck out. I said, wow, he held members only jacket. I said, he been riding the train with 10,000. Been bringing him money. And the only reason she found out is, guess what? It's because his phone ain't working. He said, yes, so I decided to go ahead and bring it to him. Here's the cash. So now she's like, it was $10,000 in the envelope. And he said, yeah, I bring it every month. No, she didn't know. And while she went through financial difficulty, it happens. I remember her hocking an oil painting. I remember her, and it's like, wow. And you got money and different things going out. Then you look up, you make a boatload of money. Sometimes that's what happens a lot of time in business. You invest, you got different things going on, and it's not going to be a weekly paycheck, okay? You look up, a boatload of money might show up. $10,000. I was outdone. She had no idea. Married to him 10 years and didn't know. Then you look up. She gets the $10,000. She can't trust people. Can't even trust old people. Can't trust nobody. Y'all, that was the first envelope of $10,000 cash that the old man said he'd been bringing. That was the first and the last. Next thing you know, ain't heard from the old man ever again. Well, maybe he's deceased. Or maybe he realized that, she don't know about it. The old man might have been collecting the money himself. You see how dusty is the financial implications? You see how Dusty's will do you? Do you dirty. And at this point, he's like, oh, he's a little older than she is. So he's like 70. And I guess, so I was like, wow, I got a 90-year-old friend. Okay. Yeah, because he was like turning like 70 or 71. So he's definitely older than she is. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. He's got a commercial property and sold it. And she had no idea. Got that $10,000 again. That was the first and the last. So my thing is, well, where's the property at? That wasn't brought up in the divorce. Where is the property? I said, so basically, this is all you got. This is it. And I said, you think about it. I said, in this divorce, you married to this man all this time. You've carried him. I said, basically, you've got nothing. Just like the majority of black women hanging on to these dusties. You got a dusty in your life or a low performing man, a non performing man. If he drops off the planet today, what is he going to leave you? I'm asking for a friend. What will your children have if he drops off right now? Where's the life insurance policy? What will your children have? Besides the GoFundMe link, I want to know material wise, what will you have? Keep making excuses. Keep accepting these dusty, low performing men. It's what you get. Nothing. So I was like, well, at least by, you could have maybe had your name money, could have been community property. The old man made that 10,000, gave it an envelope. Look up, never seen the old man again. Don't know what a property is. Don't know jack. I'm like, he might have an LLC that you don't know about, because you can find it if it's in his name. I said, he might. And I said, oh, I bet he been getting tax-free dollars. I said, I'm betting he got an LLC, because it would have came out in the divorce. Assets check. So I'm like, that's all I can think of. And you taking him for his word. You think you know his finances. She got the same black men as other black women are getting. Again, what did the first wife say about him? Serial cheater, liar, selfish, narcissistic. He cares about nobody but himself. Couldn't believe it. So I said, well, either the old man is still getting the money and you can't fetch it to him. I said, if the old man is still, the 90-year-old man, which I couldn't believe, and that point made me laugh. I said, I can't believe a 90-year-old man is on a train with 10 G's in his pocket every month in a members only jacket delivering it. I just can't believe it. So stop and think. The old man, I figured out, she doesn't know anything about it. He probably still getting that money. That's a dusty for you. I keep telling you they hate women. That's a dusty for you. Whether let anybody get the money but you. Fast forward. He dies. He dies. The family he was staying with, he had a few personal items. They done dropped him off at the, what do you call the place? At the county. So he's laying up there deceased, and the family didn't call her. So I was like, why didn't they call or tell you? I said, oh, they probably thought you wanted to come and get his things, his personal effects, and some things he may have of value that she gave him. I said, yep. I said they want to keep the stuff that you gave him. That's why I think they didn't call you, because this doesn't make any sense. They drop him off, let him know, oh, he's expired. He's laying up there at the county, and they're saying, no text of kin. You a darn lie. You know darn well she's in West Palm Beach. I said, yeah, whatever he left there in that house, from the decor, the art, and things like that, I said they wanted to keep it for themselves, because it's valuable. His room that she set up, I said that's what I think it is. So that's why they lied, because and they want to make sure in case he died, you might want to come there and clear his things out. They're like, oh, they're probably thinking, oh no, we're gonna sell this. I said, so that's why I think they didn't say anything. So he's dead, and he's laying up at the medical examiner's office at the state and at the county. So then they start doing some checking. They call her. They can see, well, he's been divorced, and there's the ex-wife. She has a Palm Beach address. They contact her. Guess what she did? She'd had enough. She said, no, I'm not coming to claim the body. I am not coming to claim him. I don't want anything to do with him. We're divorced. I'm done. Again, like I said before, I thought about it. What did you get out of this divorce? What did you get out of this divorce? I don't understand. What did you get from being married to him? Like Dr. Clyde Anderson said, black kids growing up inheriting dust. Well, black women marrying and having children and being baby mama, getting with these dust bucket men, and it's of all races. And guess what you get? Dust. Take that dust to the bank. Just as Dr. Clyde Anderson said, you're inheriting dust. So married to him out of all those years, what do you have besides heartache, disappointment? He did more for strippers than he did his first wife, the black woman. He did more for strippers than he did his second wife, the Caucasian woman. He did more for strippers and a stripper's child than he did for his own daughter. Mammies, what do you say about that? Sometimes people do what they want to do. Stop making excuses. So she's like, no, I'm not accepting the body. I'm not accepting it. I don't want nothing to do with it. She turns around and gives them the phone number to his ex-wife, okay, and daughter. Says, hey, you can go ahead and call these two individuals. They come to Palm Beach. And oh, what do I say? Dusty's bring drama. Dusty's bring drama. The financial implication is too much dust in the nation. The daughter from his first wife and the first wife and the daughter, they come to Palm Beach and they claim the body and handle it. They pretty much did they had some kind of short ceremony and did a cremation. When they got to Palm Beach, guess what they did? She said the daughter called her out and cursed at her. You and his ex-wife, me and my mother had to come all the way down here to handle this. You and his ex-wife, you could have handled it. You were married to him. And see, here's the thing the daughter doesn't understand. See, they've been cut ties with him because when he was getting sick and all that, I was like, well, where are they? And she's like, they're not coming. They don't even deal with him. I said, where's his daughter? She's like, no, they don't even deal with him, blah, 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 blah. I totally get it. So, and I think what it is, I think when the daughter called her cursing and angry, I think she was under the assumption that because, okay, you're a second wife, maybe she's thinking about her being a white female. Oh, I know he's helping you. That's what I think she was thinking, and probably seeing the lifestyle, not knowing, sweetie, you have no idea what's going on. I know what's going on than you do because I'm here. He hasn't paid jack. She paid for the houses they lived in. She's paid every dime. He ain't paid jack ass. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I do want to say one wow. I think I recall her saying he paid some utility bills. Ooh. Fool, it costs $300 just to heat the pool. To heat the pool is $300 a month. You think you're doing something? Well, your behind is in it. That's just to heat the pool in that house. Really? Like you really doing something. But you got your butt doing the backstroke. So I think the daughter was thinking, I think that's why she went off, probably thinking, oh, if she's a white female, he's probably doing for her. No, girl, he didn't do it for your mother. He didn't do it for you. He ain't doing it for her. He's doing it for nobody but himself. Very selfish. Just like the first wife said. So they had a little ceremony. Then check this out. One of the friends that he knew, one of his Caucasian buddies, because he didn't pretty much, one of those black people, he likes to pretty much hang with, and I kind of saw that too. He doesn't want other black people around. He likes to have like all white friends. That's what I saw. I said, oh, I peep him real quick. I've been peeped that. I said, oh, I see. Yeah, I just kind of sensed that by some things that he said. And one of his friends said, he said, you know, he hasn't been. He said he hasn't been a blessing to any woman that's in his life. Wow. He said he hasn't been a blessing to any woman in his life, including his daughter. He said he never paid a dime for his daughter. His friend said all he's done is just cause pain and tears. And I was like, wow, there's something for someone to say about you. You haven't been a blessing to any woman in your life, from your wives to your daughter. You haven't been a blessing. You just cause pain and tears. And when he said that, I thought, wow, you knew him, and that's what you're saying. You know how sad that is? But that's what Dusties do. And I thought about it. I said, married all that time, what do you have? Just nothing. Disappointment, hurt, and pain. And again, dust comes in all colors. You don't skip it. It's not just black men. It's not getting twisted. It comes in all colors. We got Dusty Dan too. Dusty Dan, Peter Pan. We done already seen Mr. Wong going wrong. Comes in all colors. But this here, I want to show this story. I thought about it. what the first wife told her from the jump. And so many women think, oh, it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. That's what hurt. We have to accept people for who they are. So here there's a small ceremony. He died. Nobody cried. Just bickering back and forth. You could have taken care of him. I don't know why you didn't. Well, I'm his ex-wife, and we didn't end on bad terms, and he been living this, back and forth, back and forth. Look at what the friend said. Not one person had got a kind word to say to him, to say about him. I thought when that man said that to me, I was like, wow, he wasn't a blessing to any woman in his life. Wasn't a blessing. Sad. So even in death, a dusty bring distress, bringing trauma. Nobody wants to be responsible for you because all you've given is just a bunch of hurt and pain. At the end of the day, they got to come see about you. I'm like, not one kind word. And the daughter ended up paying for the cremation. She paid for it. And she was mad. Oh, like I said, even a friend said he never spent a dime on his daughter. And that came up too. Should be a peaceful moment, antagonizing, uh, tension, thick. Should be a peaceful moment. Not one darn tear was shed by nobody. And I wasn't crying. I'm just saying. Nobody cried. That's what Dusty's bring. So yeah, might want to de-dust yourself. Leave that food on a shelf, child. I'm telling you, get that dust out your life. It's going to come to know it's a bad investment. There will be no return on the investment. I said, this is sad. Bringing discord. Bringing a negative financial implication, even in death, he's bringing discord. Bad feelings. So, want to share that with you from the Becky files. By the way, she's met a new man. Yeah, she's met a new man. Yeah, I guess after dealing with this dust bucket, she did what the rest of them do. Her new man, of course, is Caucasian. So I guess she decided to go back. I was like, wow, from a stockbroker to the professor, married to them, she received something. I just picked up some art from my ex-husband. And at the time, I think he paid like $3,900 for it. So I went and got that. And that was, 12 years ago. I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and have it appraised. He's like, okay, sure. I said, I'm going to go ahead and have it appraised. Yeah, because, I said, I do recall that I was going to get it. So, yeah, I did get that a while ago. I mean, just recently. But yeah, a Dusty died and nobody cried. Nobody. What did she get from being married to him? Nothing. Got absolutely nothing. No life insurance, no nothing. She got nothing. Just, married to him, got some bad years. So yeah, her new man, she's now with the white dude, her new man. She says she's happy. Girl, hope you are. Enjoy your life. But I wanted to share that with you. People are who they are. So an educated Dusty, anybody that has dust-like behavior, male or female, Dustina, they are who they are, and they are no good to anyone. You can keep hope alive if you want to, and keep on. I'm gonna pray about it. Keep praying about it. If a person is dusty, they're full of dust, I said leave. Count your losses and move on. Look how long she stayed. And look at the final goodbye. Discord. Fussing, cussing. I'm like, man. I'm like, wow, cussing like. I'm like, wow, still some anger that done cussed you out over the phone the daughter has. And now it's still some anger here. Nobody has a kind word. So look what he did for the strippers, and the stripper's daughter didn't take care of his own. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a Dusty will do. And I'm out.